Well, welcome to God Creating Hand. Today we are going to do a flip through on the Junk Journal July 2024, that challenge I have joined this year for the very first time. And I completed the whole month because it was 31 prompts. I just continued until it was done. So let's just get started. So my cover says, "You go, girl." Number one was spark, and I used the first prompt as a match. Fire, make your spark. Matchbook. Number two was postcard. I made a postcard envelope, and I had a vintage postcard. And I made a tuck-in, belly band. Number three was fold. I used Eater Holding paper, made an envelope, put a little ephemera inside. That's number three. Number four was labels. I have a label here with the day of the week, and the date you can write in. Another one says "Out of This World." That's a label. And this label says "Beautiful" because she is beautiful. I created her skirt with the same paper, and that is what I made for labels. And number five is lettering. And I made this out of the piano paper. And the lettering of my name. Of course, the piano has lettering of music. This symbol in Asian is meaning peace. And this label here is saying life is beautiful. And I made this look like a scroll. Number six is wildlife. I used a magazine for the woodary and the bird and the deer. Number seven was window. I used lace around the window, and when you look through the window, you see flower, common mellow flower. And number eight was observe, and I believe birds and butterflies observe as they fly around. So that was my way of describing observe. Number nine was scraps. So I had a masterboard and I cut them up, and I was making, what do you call it? Well, scraps. So you can use them on edge of paper and whatever you might want to use them as ephemeras, but I added some buttons and fabric. Number 10 was thread. I used this tassel to represent thread. And this was a pocket I made. And number 11 was stamped. So I stamped Junk Journal July 2024. In the background is some of the paper that came with the challenge that you was able to use. So I used her paper as stacks of papers and books. And number 12 was packaging. I used this old seed bag for packaging. Number 13 was light. I made this card with my fairy treasure with Angie. And because it said "Let Your Light Shine," I thought it would be a perfect piece to add in for the light prompt for this challenge. And number 14 was weather. I found this beautiful winter with snow in the woods. And it said "Winter Splendid." So I thought that was nice for weather. Number 15 was homemade. I made this flip with out of magazines, just different things that came out the magazine. And that was the homemade. Number 16 was petal. I fussy cut this flower, and these petals are things you use when you in a wedding and you're throwing it on the table for decoration. So I used that to create a flower petal. And now I'll flip to the back. Number 17 was age. So I used this vintage paper letter that was 1935 written. So that represents age. 18 was free as a bird. So that's how I represent free with the birds and the butterfly. And also, what better way to have a free ticket somewhere. All right, number 19 was tags. So this is another masterboard collage that I made tags out of. And this is a bird on there. And that's tags. 20 was pictures. Picture. So I found this beautiful picture and I made a pocket out of it. So, and 21 was colors, and I found these steps in a magazine. I thought it was great for representing color. Colors pop, so that's what I chose for color. 22 was timeless, and I thought, what better way to represent people? We are timeless. Time is timeless. Keep on dreaming. Beautiful photographs of people. 23 was tipping. I tipped in this page so you can write, and also you can tuck something in. And 24 was ephemera, so I used this as ephemera. 25 was tea dye, so this pocket is tea dye fabric. 26 was shades, so I got a magazine and I found this shades for the blinds, lamps, shades, and also glasses shades. So that represents shades. 28 was buttons, so I found a beautiful hat and I added some buttons, and this tag was full of buttons, so I thought that was great representation for buttons. Number 27 was poet. My grandma was a poet. My grandmother wrote poems, and also she collected poems, and she had this particular poem in her Bible, and I made a copy of it, and I thought it would be great to add it for this prompt. And 29 was contrast. I thought this lady with the greenery of the woods and the trees, for her to be contrast out like that, so I thought that was a great picture to represent contrast. 30 was choose to shine. So it was just something that I made and to represent shine. You are God's masterpiece, Ephesians 2:10. And last but not least, prompt 31 was celebrate. And I chose to say celebrate God's word. And I had made this little booklet that has nothing but a bunch of God's verses to keep you inspired, encouraged, and keep the faith. Be a light for all to see, Matthew 15:5 and 16. Just a lot of little verses to keep you encouraged. And that ends my flip through. I hope you enjoyed. God Creating Hand will be back with more creation. If you like, please comment, thumbs up, subscribe, even share if you like. Come on back. Have a blessed day.